fuck the intro. I was going to give this a proper review when I had the time and stills for it, but due to recent information, this movie, along with the comic spawned in its wake, is so unworthy that Thor's hammer would not let anyone touch it, let alone lift it. No spoiler warning on this because I am hell-bent on destroying every credibility this movie and the company I once liked has with it. In case you're wondering what I'm talking about, Captain America Civil War. Where do I begin? First of all, Civil War started as a comic book that became a stepping stone for nearly destroying Marvel. Among two shocking twists in its wake was the death of Captain America and the long-running marriage of Spider-Man and Mary Jane ending through its tie-in comic One More Day. No need to go over what went wrong there. But when I heard there was going to be an adaptation, all I could think of was, how are they going to ruin Spidey's marriage if he wasn't even introduced to MCU yet? He was hinted at with Ant-Man, but he didn't debut yet. Needless to say, this was going to be a different kind of Civil War movie. With that being one of the many things omitted, thank God. However, while I like this movie, there are a few things I want to point out later on. In regards to the movie itself, the government is sick of all the collateral damage the heroes cause in their adventures. From the Battle of New York in Avengers, to the Battle of Washington and Winter Soldier, to Sokovia in Avengers Age of Ultron, and the recent screw-up in this movie. Thunderbolt Ross, the Hulk's chaser, decides that the heroes, along with every being with superpowers, must be registered and kept in check. Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, and Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, are at odds with each other due to their own reasons for being for and against it. Iron Man is for it because he feels personally responsible for most of the damage caused, and believes he and the other heroes need to be kept in check. Cap disagrees because regardless of how destructive heroes can be, they are still people, which Ross seems to disregard as much as he disregards the Battle of Harlem and the University battle damage both he himself is personally responsible for, due to both the military's intervention causing the Hobcat and his creation of Emil Blonsky, aka the Abomination. At the same time, Steve and Sam Wilson, aka Falcon, find Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier, who while having his memory back, is still under partial control from Hydra, making him a dangerous threat that the Registry wants dead. Cap, not wanting to see his best friend die again, decides to defend him with the help of the heroes on his side. Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch, who naturally doesn't want Tony Stark to control her leg any further than his company nearly destroyed. Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, who's a great admirer of Cap and knows what it's like to be brainwashed. Scott Lang, aka Ant-Man, who admires the Avengers but has a proxy grudge against Stark due to his mentor Hank Pym not wanting his hands on the particle that makes him shrink and grow. And Sharon Carter, who's Cap's love interest and one of the few S.H.I.E.L.D. agents loyal to him despite Hydra's takeover. On the side of Iron Man, we have Rhodey, aka War Machine, who's Tony's friend through and through. Vision, who believes in any solution where no one is in physical danger. Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, which is a big surprise considering her relationship with Cap in the previous movie, but hey, they wanted to keep some accuracy in the comics. And introducing T'Challa, aka Black Panther. He is the king of the fictional Wakanda country, and he is pissed due to both Ultron stealing their precious vibranium, and Bucky for allegedly killing his father, the original king of Wakanda. As well as Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. He's here because Tony blackmailed him into fighting alongside, in exchange for a new costume we've seen in the trailer. Oh, and by the way, he's 15 in this, so congrats Team Iron Man. You just encouraged Kyle's soldiers the whole time. The battle works as well as you expect. There are many trying not to kill each other, but it still caused damage in the process. The result causes Steve and Bucky to escape and find the person responsible for the events, Baron Zemo, who was pissed because of the debris from the Sokovia battle killing his family. The battle resulted in Spider-Man temporarily being fired from the Avengers for his own safety, Rhodey being paralyzed, and much of Cap's team being imprisoned in the raft, a poorly conditioned prison on water, much to Tony's horror. Eventually, they all find out Zemo is responsible for the death of Panther's father, and all work together to try to deprogram Bucky until Zemo, as a final trump card, reveals that Bucky, during his time as a Winter Soldier, killed Howard and Maria Stark, sending Tony on a rampage against Bucky and Rogers for not telling him. This is one where I'm kind of split. On one hand, I feel bad for Tony, as he did not know who killed his parents and never thought Steve, his friend, would keep that from him. On the other hand, Bucky was under mind control. It would be like trying to kill Hawkeye for what Loki made him do. At the same time, Panther catches up to Zemo, and instead of killing him like he vowed to, he has him arrested. Cap defeats Tony and disregards his shield while Bucky volunteers to go into stasis until a cure is found. They both take refuge in Wakanda while planning to break the others out, sending a letter to Tony asking for his forgiveness and offering their assistance should any new disaster strike. Now, I like this movie, so in all fairness, I'm going to give its good points first. The first being that it didn't end up like its comic counterpart. We don't see any major BS like Cap getting killed or Spider-Man making a deal with the devil. The second being Spider-Man not only being introduced, but they finally found a way to make his costume exactly like the comic and cartoon counterpart, especially his moving eyes by making them mechanical. The third being T'Challa's much-awaited introduction, followed up directly from Age of Ultron. Though it could have been funny if he accused Cap of stealing the metal used to make his shield, seeing how Wakanda is the only place in the world that has an unlimited supply of vibranium. The fourth being showing what it was like for the bad guy to win for once. And that out of all the gods, aliens, businessmen, and evil robots, it was an ordinary pissed-off human with a plan to destroy the Avengers. Not kill, destroy. The fifth, despite that all, Steve finally managed to get his friend back. And the sixth, being that they actually managed to give reasons to root for both sides, while at the same time having both sides understand each other's problems instead of rapidly killing each other. I'm still Team Cap, but I understand why Team Iron Man would feel this way. However, while I like this movie, there are a few things I feel that need to be pointed out. First of all, it ripped off Batman v Superman's plot points, specifically the government seeing all superheroes as a threat, the main villain making sure they see that way, and the two well-known heroes of said movie franchise going against each other due to differing moralities. Hell, the director of the movie pretty much said he did this movie in response to Batman v Superman being announced. The only difference being is that it's not just the two main heroes clashing against each other, but they also have heroes on each side fighting with them. So it's Batman v Superman on a larger scale. With that said, despite the story being practically the same, why are they given different ratings on Rotten Tomatoes? Seriously. They both either should get a high or a low rating simply because of that fact alone. Second of all, and this is my main gripe, something that came to my attention recently. In a recent comic book, they decided to bring Steve Rogers back as Captain America, while at the same time, Sam Wilson keeping the name too. That's cool and all. But during his first adventure, what does our beloved Nick Spencer do? Make Cap a Hydra agent. Captain America. A comic created by two people trying to warn the USA about the Nazis' intentions before the Pearl Harbor bombing. A comic about a nice guy who tries to do right no matter what life throws at him, and their bright ideas to once again make him a traitor. What the fuck is wrong with you? To make matters even more fucked up, Marvel tries to convince us that joining Hydra isn't as bad as joining the Nazis. Well, newsflash, Marvel. Hydra was created by the Nazis, so when you make Captain America a Hydra agent, you pretty much turned one of America's greatest icons into a fucking Nazi. For this alone, I actually feel obligated to apologize to Joe Quesada for one more day. I mean, yeah, people were pissed when Spidey made a deal with the devil and destroyed his marriage, but at least he didn't turn Nazi. You pretty much ruined 76 years of storytelling, both good and bad, just so you can sell us a cheap twist. Not only that, but you stealthily called anyone who supported Team Cap side of Civil War, including myself, accessories to Hydra, which in turn makes us accessories to Nazis. You dirty, disgusting sons and daughters of bitches. You know who else tried to make us believe Captain America was a traitor? Hydra themselves. The same way they tried to convince Black Cat's father that they were fighting Nazis. So does that mean Marvel works for Hydra? Does that mean the whole time Hydra was a true organization? If that's not the case, you better unfuck this right now, because if this does as much damage as I think it will, DC may end up buying you out. I used to be neutral, as I like both Marvel and DC comics. I feel they had like a certain distinction between them. With DC making heroes you aspire to be like, where Marvel you make heroes you can relate to. But thanks to this betrayal of your fans, you can bet myself and a lot of other people are defecting to DC right now. As usual, debate, argue, and let me know what I missed. Stay tuned for more. Fuck Marvel.